Today we've got a little vocabulary lesson. You remember vocab, the study of words and their meanings? As it turns out, we aren't always very clear with our choice of wording, and that can be especially troubling for women leaders. Teddy wants to say hi. He's wondering why I'm talking to a box. Teddy's not assertive at all. Today I want to talk about the very clear differences between assertive and aggressive. Two words that are often used interchangeably but have huge ramifications for women in the workplace. What it all comes down to is rights. When someone's being assertive, they're being forthright and clear about what they want, need, and desire, while considering the rights and wants and needs of those around them. That's what being assertive really means. When someone's being aggressive, on the other hand, they're still being clear about what they want and need and desire, but without any regard for the wants and rights and needs of those around them. Don't get me wrong, it's not always crystal clear, but I want you to think about a simple metaphor of waiting in a long line for your favorite concert tickets. Let's say there's a line 30 people long and you've been waiting for hours with your friends. We've all been there when someone else sneaks up ahead of the line and just silently slides in to meet up with their friends. And then right behind you, you witness someone stand out in line, get really loud and say, "Excuse me, what do you think you're doing?" Get to the back of the line. We've all been waiting here. Now, who's being assertive and who's being aggressive in this example? If you guess the person behind you is being assertive, you're correct. Even though they might sound and look like they're being what we think of as aggressive, in this instance, they're simply watching out for the rights of everyone else in line, the rules of the game. And the person in front of you, even though they were very subtle and passive and quiet about it, what they were really doing was being aggressive because they were not taking into consideration the rights and wants of everyone else who's been standing in line playing by the rules of the game. Now, rarely in the workplace are things this clear-cut, but it is well established that leadership requires the ability to be assertive. And unfortunately, it's also been shown that when women are more assertive, both men and other women are likely to see that assertive woman as less likable. And this is part of what social scientists call double binds that women leaders face all the damn time. And unfortunately, these aren't connections that we're making in our minds consciously or deliberately. In fact, there's no malintent required to carry unconscious bias against women for exhibiting the same characteristics that might otherwise be expected from a man. I saw this impact someone's career in a big way when one of my advisors was called by her academic department head to ask about a fellow colleague. She's a professor at a business school and was asked to give advice or feedback on the potential promotion of one of her female colleagues. Now, this is a woman who's a professor, who's authored multiple studies and papers, who's peer-reviewed and who's well-liked by her students. On all accounts, this is a woman who performs well. But when the department head called my advisor for her opinion, he did mention that some of her colleagues thought she could be a little aggressive. Ding, 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 there's the magic word, right? So my advisor referred back to this exact definition and said, hey, do you think she's actually not taking others' rights and wants and desires into consideration? Or is she just being assertive about her rights while also being mindful of the rights and interests of others? And she heard silence on the other end of the telephone for a minute until the department head spoke up again and said, hold on, can you say that one more time? I'm writing this down. Because rarely is this differentiation made clear for those around us. And while I am in no way saying that you need to be assertive in your communication all the time, having this tool in your toolbox is so critical to getting what you want out of life. The first step is clarifying the difference between assertive and aggressive, and start noticing when people are calling women leaders especially aggressive for behavior that's actually assertive. It is so simple and yet so important. So share this video with someone who you think could benefit from this clarification right now. And then go download our Bossed Up Manifesto, which has this in the middle of it. Know the difference between assertive and aggressive. aggressive, because while it seems like simple vocabulary, it has huge and lasting ramifications. Now I want to hear from you. Has there ever been a time when you felt unfairly labeled as aggressive, when you were just trying to get things done and be a good leader? Share your story in the comments below, because I want to hear from you. How did you react? Who did you talk to? And how do you think we should change this? And for those of you who have yet to hear, next month, March, is Women's History Month. And I am taking our Bossed Up message on the road. I'm speaking at a bunch of companies and universities all across the country, from New York to Los Angeles down to Austin, Texas for South by Southwest. And everywhere we go, we're hosting some public events that you can get in on. So head on over to bossedup.org/events to find all the details on the events we're hosting from coast to coast this Women's History Month.